All right, so what we're going to be doing is creating a little stop frame animation. And the first thing I'm going to be doing here is changing the dimensions of our document here to match the aspect ratio of a sort of standard widescreen TV here. So we could do like a full 80, 1080 by 1920, but I don't know that it's really necessary. And we really probably only need this to be 72, but and do it at 100K just to give us a little more resolution in case we want to zoom in a little bit here to do some things with it. Okay, so let's do that. And we'll see, let's drag this over here. Now I don't need this one anymore. Okay, so this is a common issue when you're bringing one picture into another one where it doesn't put it where you want, and it might look like it's not even here, possibly. Okay, but we can do if the bounding box, these little boxes and little handles there are not visible, especially if you're in here like this, it might be hard to see, right? But if you zoom all the way out, we should be able to see that. And we'll do a free transform here, image transform, free transform, or Command T to bring that up, and we'll resize this. So here's our issue that we've got, right? That this is not the same shape as our screen. So what are we going to do about that? We've got some options. Okay, the reason I undid that is because once it's smaller and then I stretch it out again, we're going to be losing image quality, right? So once it's small, we don't want to make it bigger again unless we really have to. So I'm going to resize it from the original here. Okay, so I'm going to decide to use this framing, okay? And just to kind of keep my file size down, well, you know what, let's do this instead. Just to give us an idea of something else we could do. All right, let's make this our first image here. And let's make a new folder. I've done this kind of before, so there's some other images in here. But let's do it again. It's going to be our first image, 001. All right. And then I'm going to slide this up a little bit and save it as 002. Okay, now doing this after with some sort of like a Ken Burns effect or something would be smoother, but it wouldn't really show you what the idea here is. Okay, and I think this moved up too high. I want to keep this down a little lower so I can see this plant up here. I want to kind of like that, and I might do something with it. All right, so I'm going to resave this over top of 3 again. Do I want to replace it? Yes, let's replace it. Okay, so there's that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make this lady disappear here. And so I'm just going to hide this back there because it's kind of bugging me a little bit. We're going to use our clone stamp tool here, and to do that I'm going to make a new layer and make sure sample all layers is on. So it's going to sample the textures from layer 1, and we're going to paint them onto layer 2. And to use this tool, I'm just going to, I want to use a soft edged brush usually, and make sure it's on the stamp clone stamp and not the pattern stamp. Okay, I'm going to hold down the option, and I'm going to click with the mouse button and let go of the option key, and come down here, and you can see that it's taking whatever was where I just clicked up the top there. I'm going to make the brush a little bigger so you can see it easier, and it's going to put it right here. So the important thing is that I line up that corner. You can kind of see that corner there. I want to make sure it's lined up right there. Okay, and then I'm going to start painting in. And just like that, we're erasing this lady here. All right. And I'm going to replace this thing up here again. Sometimes it usually will pick up what we've just erased until it's been erased for, I don't know why. can't figure out that we don't want it to do that, but if you try doing this kind of thing, you'll quickly see what I'm talking about. Okay, and we want to get rid of this part here too. So let's do that. And I'm going to option click again in here. And it looks okay. I'd like to get this corner of this wall here continuing down. Kind of like that. There we go. And I'll kind of speed this up a little and sacrifice some quality for speed here just to keep it going. And ooh, like that. That's what I was talking about. It's kind of picking up what we just erased. So I'm going to undo that. I want to keep a little bit of a harder edge there. I don't want the eraser to be eating into that wall up there. And I think we should get rid of her shadow here too. Oops, let's undo that. You can see there it was picking up the edge of the screen. Watch as I bring this down. There's the bottom of the screen there. Okay, so you gotta be careful of that. And it might just be a little darker near the edge anyway, but if we really wanted to get a little fancier here with this, we could try to create, where is this going to go? Somewhere like that, and then up here. Okay, to make sure we don't go into that edge there. That would be the best, cleanest looking way, even though the original one looks a little bit softer. So let's kind of blur that a little bit. There we go. Looks a little better anyway. Go back to our clone stamp tool here and option click there. And get a little bit of an issue here. How are we going to do this? We're going to bring this white edge across to there. And we're going to use this edge here, of course, but where they're not going to meet. Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, we're not going to fool anybody into who looks closely into thinking that it was originally this way, but that is not what our goal is, right? This is going to be a little animation that we're doing, and things will be moving around, and nobody's going to be looking that closely at that. I hope. Okay, so now we've got her. I've already cut and pasted her onto a new, copy and pasted her, right, onto another layer. This is what the original image looked like, and so now if we can make her disappear, move around, or whatever we want to do. All right, so first we're going to, let's bring this car in here, and I'm going to kind of rotate it a little bit. And let's think about how big this thing would be compared to a person. That sort of seems about right. If it was kind of in front of her, maybe it would be a little bigger. It looks a little funny on that angle though. Alright, so let's do that. Let's disappear this thing. So this is going to be image 4. And maybe that was the same as 3, but I'd rather have an extra one that I can get rid of than not have the frame that I need to redo later. All right, this is going to be, oops, 5. Another option when you're naming these things is to, I'm going to have this get a little bit bigger. Another option, sorry, is to, you know, go by tens or something, kind of like a, if you're writing like some old school like computer code, you have to number the lines and stuff. kind of skip some so you can add some back in if you need to. I don't know if you still do that. I'm not really a computer coder, you know. Okay, I'm gonna have this stop there, and we're gonna have it. Let's have it turn into a black and white image here. Okay, so we can do this a couple ways. We could do it again afterwards and just kind of fade in the video editor. Just do a kind of a cross dissolve, cross fade from the color version into this black and white version. However, I don't know if I want to do that or not with this. It's probably the best way to do it, really. But yeah, let's plan on doing that later. Okay, so let's just leave it like that. It'll look kind of like it instantly changes in here, but we can kind of fix that later. So it's going to kind of merge into this black and white kind of place here. And then what's going to happen? Let's have it drive away. Let me get bigger. And 9. Save this as 10. And then it's going to be gone. 11. Okay. So now we're going to, that's one idea, right? We could have something move across. And now we're going to do another kind of idea here where this lady is going to disappear. And in order to do that, we're going to turn this into a kind of a sci-fi thing here. We're going to use our rectangular marquee tool. We're going to feather this edge a little bit. And right around there. Okay. Just like that on a new layer. Let's use these blue colors here. We're going to use our reflected gradient. Hold shift to keep it perfectly horizontal. So we get this kind of idea. And let me stretch this up a little bit right off the edge there. And slide it down. I like that it's kind of fading out a little around the bottom of her feet there. That's okay. Looks like it stops there. Okay, so we're going to create, again, we could do this afterwards, but just to show you the effect of what we're doing here, we could do this with some fades and stuff as well, right? But let's do, if we wanted to do it just in here, a little more of a choppy idea here, we could kind of fade this up a little bit, save it, 12, and we could kind of have this fade in here as this one fades up. Something like this anyway. And all the way. And then this can come back down, right? 16, 17, and 0. Okay. And we're at 14 minutes here. Let's try to do one other little thing. Let's have this flower here maybe falls off the edge. Okay, so what we're going to do for this is select these flowers and in here we're just going to copy and paste it. call this flowers, and it's gonna leave it right where it is for now, right? But we can move this thing around, and let's get this white edge around there. That's a bit problematic against this dark. Okay, so really we probably want to kind of erase that a bit better. Let's kind of go like that real quick. And that's going to be, I think, good enough here for this. Let's turn this layer off. And we'll make another layer. And we're going to use our clone stamp tool again. And we are going to clone over top of these flowers. Option clicking. And again, let's mask this area off here a bit to make sure we get a clean edge. Clone stamp tool. This should be fairly easy as long as we keep all of our lines kind of lined up here. This should be okay. It's not so bad. All right. What are we going to call this? Let's call it our mask flowers. Okay. So we're basically just going to be taking this thing, and now when we move it away, it's going to look like it's gone, right? So, oops. This one. I'm going to have this look like it's kind of tipping off the edge here. Okay, I'm going to be falling down. And how about, oops. Before it hits the ground, I got an idea here. It's going to have it accelerating a little more. Oops, yes, apply. And okay, before it hits the ground and smashes, we're going to have our we're going to beam it up. Do kind of an accelerated beaming up here. And just use the arrow keys to slide this down a bit. I don't know if we're going to see it or not, really. Not so much. That's okay. And then we'll turn this off and drop this back down. And then all the way. All right. And this lady, completely non-responsive here. So, let's see. I think that may be it.